Salutations, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me from YouTube, School, and Facebook. So I'll be looking all around, up and through, all that good stuff. But today is Mindset Monday, and just got inspired to do two teachings today. So right now, I'm going to do about 15, 20 minutes or so on enough is enough. If you're just feeling so fed up, then you want to stay around and join. And then I'll be clicking off of all the extra platforms and only joining in my school for members only Monday. So you definitely want to be around for both of those, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. And as I'm speaking, you guys can feel free to let me know if you have any questions or anything that I can help you with around your health, okay? All right, here we go, here we go. Now, you have joined my channel or my space or all that kind of good stuff because you do feel enough is enough, right? You're done playing with your health. You're ready to think, eat, and live differently. But let's pause right here for a second because this ain't your average program. It's just not. You're not in need of another detox or another meal plan or another quick fix to naturally or to finally get yourself together, right? This is a journey, okay? All right, so this is an unraveling, if you will. So, this is about breaking up with your bad food habits and never calling him or her type of a breakup, all right? Yes, we are going that deep, all right? And then we're going to learn how to fall back in love in a new relationship with food and getting to the root of why we reach for foods that we know don't serve us. Why do we do that? But more importantly, why do we keep doing it anyway? And also, more importantly, on top of that, how to stop reaching for foods and loving foods that don't love us back. All right. So, the real work here, though, is definitely internal. It is internal. And most people try to change their food without ever changing their thoughts. That's like painting a cracked wall without fixing the foundation that's underneath it. Um, Here in my classroom, we go straight to the foundation. So, while yes, we're going to talk about cravings, yes, we're going to give you recipes and swaps and breathing techniques, but first though, we're going into the basement of your beliefs. Going to the basement of your beliefs because most of us, we're not emotionally eating because we're greedy. We're emotionally eating because we're hurt or bored or overwhelmed or lonely or underloved, all those kind of things, right? And sometimes we don't even know what we're feeling. We just know that there's something in that fridge that might help us feel a little better until it doesn't. So until you start feeling like you're cheating on yourself, yeah, that part, right? Until you feel that part, that level of frustration of enough is enough, then it'll keep going. So that's why I say don't even join until you're actually ready. All right. So now let's talk about the relationship with food and how that equates to the relationship with you. Yes. All right. Margie says she's ready. All right. Good deal. Okay. So let me say this clearly though. The relationship that you have with food, it often mirrors the relationship that you have with yourself. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about how you feel in your body? How you feel about your past? How you feel and how you deal with your pain? And if we never talk about that part, we'll keep calling it willpower when it's really wounded power. Let that marinate for a second. This is the very reason of why we don't just talk about food and why I actually give you guys a year's worth of mental therapy as part of my program. Because a lot of times our food choices are influenced by everything else that's going on around us, right? So the work that we do here is gentle, is sacred. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. Connection to self, connection to source, your inner nutritionist, your real hunger, right? We're not counting calories over here. That's not what we do. We're counting wins. That's what we do over here. The small ones, the big ones, the medium ones, however you see it. And it's like catching yourself before you eat your feelings. That's a huge win. And we got to start celebrating those. Things like pausing long enough to ask, what am I really hungry for? Am I actually hungry? A lot of times we just reach for foods because that's what we're used to doing. Pausing enough to choose peace over panic when life starts lifing, right? If you're joining me for the first time from YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, please, please, please. It allows me to bring you guys more free content, okay? But then I want you to head on and join me over in my school. And then that's who gets to see all the visuals and gets the tools to help them or help you work on your relationship with food, okay? But remembering, you guys, that you're not weak, you're not broken. You got to stop saying and thinking those kind of ways, okay? You've just been surviving, and food has always been there, and that's what you know. But you're not alone. You've got me, you've got this community, and more importantly, you've got you. Don't forget that. By the time that we're done, you won't just eat better, you'll learn how to think better. And that's the first step to learning how to retrain your brain. A lot of people work on behavior first, and then they work on their feelings, but both of those are backwards. Think, feel, behave is the actual order that your brain learns how to learn anything new. Okay? By the time that we're done, you'll actually learn how to trust yourself again, how to forgive yourself, how to speak positively to yourself. And then I'm not talking about in the old rainbows and butterfly type of way. We're talking about real trust, real belief, real speaking life into yourself. Because we already know how powerful the tongue is. Okay? So that's what this is really about. Now, I know that some of you came to maybe raid your refrigerators and your pantries, but guess what? Don't change any of those things until you learn how to rewire your mind, okay? Don't try to change a bite. Don't try to change a sip. Don't try to change your grocery list. None of that stuff. Just actually watch yourself, okay? Here's some questions that you want to ask yourself as you're rewiring those thoughts, okay? And as you guys know, every time you come to my classroom, you might want to bring a pen and pad because I'm giving you some real gems, okay? All right, so one of the first things you want to ask yourself is, what foods are you actually afraid of changing? Yes, yes. Krista says chicken, all right? For me, it was chitlins, absolutely. So write that down. If you can't think too quickly right now, write that down. What foods are you actually afraid of changing? For me, it was chitlins, chicken, and cheese. Those three things, I was just like, I'm not going to be able to give those up until I learned the strategy and the methodology to rewire my mind. All right, now, it's not about what you think you should give up, but the ones that actually make you pause. The ones that feel too hard to let go of. The ones that make you say, whew, I hope she don't come for me on that one, right? Write those down. No judgment at all. No judgment. We're just collecting data right now. So when the time comes, we actually have a strategy, not shame. It's all about letting the awareness build. And we'll start soon enough about getting into the food and all that kind of stuff. And when we do, it's going to be on your terms, using the tools that you have already been given to build lasting results. Okay, so let's be clear. This class, my program, is not about cozying up and watching the videos and just cozying up to a good book and all that kind of stuff, sipping tea and hoping for the best. No, it's you came to the wrong place for that, okay? This is basically a training camp for your transformation. and every champion needs a strategy. Now, you may hear me reference a lot of words and phrases around athletics. That's because I come from an athletic background. And the best athletes don't just rely on talent, okay? We actually visualize the win. We practice like it's game day. Yes, practice, AI, practice, okay? And then that's how we become who we said that we are. It's through repetition, it's through mindset, it's through consistency. That's what we're on over here. Okay? Hey, Gina. All right, nice. All right, so how this program works and why you can't have do it. Let me give you guys some more truth up front. If you are serious about breaking bad food habits, you have to show up daily. Not just when you feel like it, not when the stars align, not when it's great weather outside. I'm talking about every single day, even if it's just for a few minutes. This is your practice. This is your reset. This is how you get mental conditioning, right? The Michael Jordans of the world, or the LeBron James of the world, they showed up for practice every day from a kid till the highest level, which is the NBA. And they still went to practice. And guess what? They still have a coach. So what makes you think that if there's something that you're struggling with, that you don't need someone else or accountability partner? All right. Yes. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you guys. Yes. Keep subscribing if you're here for the first time, and then join me inside of my school. Okay. So first things first, I want you to check into the program daily, okay? There's going to be something inside of the school that you can do every single day. And it may be from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, all right? If you can't give yourself 20 minutes of peace and helping yourself get better for yourself, your children, whomever, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not the one that's going to be able to help you, okay? But if you can find 5 to 20 minutes a day, you will be doing a great service for yourself, okay? Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to get your phone and you want to set a time that works for you, okay? Like we chatted about the other day, get a time that works best for you. If you don't put it on your schedule, it's probably not going to happen. But guess what is on your schedule? Your work, your kids, and all of their activities, your favorite TV shows. Those are all on schedule. Put this on schedule to help better yourself. This is how you come to a place to where it's just like clockwork and you don't have to think about it. But right now, you got to focus on it, okay? Now, if you need to set a timer, cool. If that time is first thing in the morning, which is what I recommend, put it in there, okay? If it's 7:07 p.m., put it in there. If you need a cup of tea with it, fine, okay? Now lock it in your phone like it's a sacred meeting with yourself. This ain't fluff. This is about strategy, all right? Now, some daily drills. All right, the first few days, we're going to set the stage. We're going to talk a little bit about nutrition education, but I promise you it's not the boring kind. I can promise you that, okay? One of the biggest things we talk about is behavior psychology. And once we talk about that more, it's definitely going to click. But the biggest thing is the step-by-step, where I've taken all of the guesswork out of it. And all you got to do is just listen, trust the process, and do it. That's it, okay? Once again, don't binge the content, okay? So if you're joining from YouTube and you're seeing this video and then you're going back to replay yesterday's video, whatever, don't binge it. It's meant to be played one day at a time, all right? Now, with that stated, you're not here to rush either. You're here to rewire. And it's not all about like crash studying and whatnot. No, rewiring the brain does not work that way. It's all about a steady pace. And the way that I've set it up, gives you that automatic steady pace. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. All right. Yes. So work on those questions that I just gave you. And that is one of the biggest parts on how to get started. So you guys, this process is simple, but don't confuse simple with not powerful. I'll say that. Okay. Don't confuse simple with not powerful. This is very, very powerful. All right. All right. So if you're joining from YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to shut you guys off, and I'm only going to talk to my members for members only Mondays. So hopefully you guys get to join us, and I'll see you again soon. All right. Appreciate you. See you next time. Hi. So pretty. Oh, thank you so much. Stray Kids for Life 7667 or 767. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you're subscribed to the channel. That helps me so much bring you guys more free content. All right. Join me inside of Skool right now, and I'm going to do a master class for them. And you're going to walk away with so much information. So hopefully I'll see you right now. All right. See you.